been a while, hasn't it, since I made an update video on Fatal Counter Rise and Fight. And with good reason. We've been hard at work behind the scenes, getting everything taken care of and wrapped up between my visual effects artist and team, and my music composer, and then myself. But thankfully, everything is pretty much done. I like to say the movie is literally 95% done, and all we're waiting on now is music. Thank goodness, because it's been a stressful ride. It's been exactly a year since I finished the first copy of the script. I've had coffee meetings, and then we set our ideas into motion to get this filmed, and then here we are now talking about the post-production side of it. Thankfully, this movie is nowhere near as long as the first one. I wanted it to be a short movie. I wanted to tell its story and be done and set things up for the next stories to come. And I'm looking at about a 35-minute runtime. I haven't yet slapped all my clips together to find out exactly how long with the latest rough cut. I've been waiting on a big piece of music before I do just that. But all the editing and everything else is great. The only thing I'm not too proud of is how abrupt the movie might end, and I feel like you guys might feel the same way. But I have a good reason as to why I leave it that way, because it's going to set everything up for the next couple movies I like to make afterwards. But not anytime soon. I'm still paying off a lot of filming debt. I've probably spent 10 more grand than I was hoping between APR and credit cards I racked up to acquire equipment, props, and funding to film this in just any way possible. And it's been a bumpy road, but I wouldn't have learned as much as I have if I didn't take this road. It's not a feature-length film, so I don't expect you guys to expect it to be one. Around 35 minutes, and I'm okay with that. So I'm just waiting on a couple pieces of music. All the visual effects are done. All the editing on my end is done with like sound effects, putting stuff together. Everything is pretty wrapped up. And after watching it myself without the last bits of music, I'm really happy with how it's turned out. It's the highest quality work that I've filmed and made to this date. I'm still slowly finishing up other past projects. In case you're wondering what happened to the first Fatal Encounter, I'm still finishing that up. Time hasn't been on my side, and so it's taken a long time to finish that one finally, but I feel like I'll just release this one first, and then once I finish that one, I'll be releasing that one within the months to follow, which is way longer than I ever anticipated, and I'm not going to make those mistakes ever again, because trust me, it's not worth having a project for years, and you're hitting that burnout roller coaster more often than you like, and you've gone through multiple effects artists, and yikes, it's been a nightmare. So Fatal Counter Rise and Fight, we're looking at releasing it between November and December. We're within the last week, so waiting on music right now. And yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm going to be having a private screening, though. Sorry you guys aren't invited to this one. Before we release it online for the world to see. Maybe there's going to be some last minute tuning and adjustments on my end that I can fix before releasing it to the world. You guys, right? So that private screening will just be between cast, crew, and family, and then friends and family of cast and crew. Could be 10 people, could be 30 or 40. I don't know yet. So we'll watch it, evaluate it, add some tuning adjustments from there, and then it's up to you guys to watch and enjoy it too. Or if you don't enjoy it, you can critique and let me know what you do think about it so I can improve myself for my next projects, because I can't get better without you. I mean, I'm my biggest critic, but sometimes I don't see the details when I step back away from my own work that I'd like you guys to point out for me. Without your comments, your viewership, your dedication to help me pursue myself further in the arts, I would not be here where I'm at today. Now, let's go over some before and after shots, a sneak peek, and then I'll kind of get into some details about my life and where I plan on going in filmmaking from here. And it might surprise a few of you. It might be completely obvious that it's been coming to this point. But we'll get into that soon. So we'll start with some before and after shots, like what's shot on a green screen, and you're basically just replacing the pixels, the green behind the person that you're shooting. My favorite shot specifically is the one you're looking at now, with the security guard walking past the hall filled with tanks and bodies. The visual effects artist blew my mind when he sent me back this shot. I'm like, make sure it's royalty free and commercial use. He hit the nail on the park. Everything looks great and crisp. It's dark and gritty, and it really sets the mood. I'll be showing you that whole scene in just a second, but other before and after shots that are pretty obvious. You have like color correction, which this was my favorite one. Rich and Fennec entering a room, and you see these guys kind of lined up. But before that, I just love the way it looks, because before color grading, after, oh my god, what a huge difference. I love it a lot. And there's visual effects like muzzle flashes in the movie. There's actually a good chunk of muzzle flashes. And there is some like blood splatters. There's not a whole lot. I was planning on making a lot, like just to be super damn bloody, but instead I just wanted it to be brutally intense instead. And I feel like I drove that point home pretty good. I was going for a dark and epic type of feel. Have you guys seen the trailer released last August? I think I hit that nail on the head pretty effectively this time. Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff I could work on, but overall I'm getting to where I want to be. And other before and after shots that, without getting into spoiler territory, I guess we can just go with, well, taking a look at the shots the scene we shot during the day that had to be at night. I'm really happy that I was able to get it to look the night look that I was looking for between my visual effects artist and myself. Him and I found a compromise, and I had to take some shots into my own hands, and he took shots in his own hands, and we put it together to tell a compelling scene that looks like it is nighttime, even though it's completely daylight out. And I'm happy with that. There is one shot in particular that I struggled with for probably weeks. I had a hard time finding the solution to this one. It's the simplest of shots. You take your camera outside, it's dark, and you're using an orange light that is lit at that most parks have, or places where water is at. And so we're outside by this lake, and all the other shots look just fine out of color correction. Then you can see the after shots of how they look. Looks pretty fine, right? But when I went into this one shot in particular, it has like this orange tint, and it ruins it. I couldn't find a solution for the life of me. Then I realized that just by adding a couple of plugins, playing around with some colors after utilizing said plugins, I was finally able to find the right solution to take that orange look and turn it to making it look like all the other shots. At least as close as I can be. It probably could use a little more fine tuning, but I'm pretty happy with how it looks overall. And I'm glad I found some kind of a solution for that shot. Otherwise it just same mood when the coloring of the frame is just so drastically different in between shots, and it's visually distracting. I couldn't have that, so I'm glad I got that taken care of. Anyways, let's go and take a look at a sneak peek, because I like sneak peeks. You guys do too, right? And I'll be posting the sneak peek in its own separate video on top of this, just so you guys can watch. Otherwise, enjoy.
Holy shit. What the fuck have they been doing in here all these years?
Wouldn't you agree? We need Fennec to help shut this down.
Nick, you know as well as I do. Fennec's gone.
I know you have a way of contacting him at least. Look, we have a big guy running things here. Without Fennec, we're not gonna be able to stop him.
You mean to tell me one of the major players is at this location?
To keep it simple, he's in the top 3. Right below the perfect leader.
Fennec talked to a masked man that was supposedly a second in command. Is it the same person?
No, there's 2. One on the East Coast and West Coast.
Well, you mean to tell me there are 2 second in command?
Yeah, and everyone has their own right-hand man. Well, at the top is the perfect leader. No one's better than him, obviously. He controls the entire thing, but no one actually knows what he looks like. Below him are the second and third in commands. Think of them like commanding officers. There's one on each side of the country. Riker controlled the one on the west, but his failure led to more structure in the system. And currently there's no one to replace him.
Good. We don't need another one. So we only knocked down one of the third in commands.
To be fair, that was all that there was back then.
Where are you going? Where the fuck do you think I'm going? If what you say is true, then we need to put a stop to this right now. Let's go!
All right.
So, what do you think? Is it pretty good? Needs work? Don't like it at all? Let me know down below. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I'm happy with how it's turned out. I like that it drives home the dark, sneaking around vibe. At any moment could be your end. You're in a place where you really shouldn't be at. And it's dark. Like I want your heart to beat. I want you to hear your heartbeat while they're sneaking around. Like, you fear for these guys and what might happen to them. Obviously, I had to cut it a little short of what possibly could happen to them, but I wanted to drive the point home as to how the scene is coming along. And I'm really happy with how the visual effects turned out, the color grading, and everything about it. It looks great. And gosh, I guess real quick I should get on to the fact of website and merchandising and stuff like that. I am planning on putting this project as well as one or 2 others possibly onto Blu-rays. I haven't created a Blu-ray yet myself, so I got a lot I gotta learn in that department, especially when it comes to putting something on a physical merchant copy, getting a website and company created like more officially, right? Get it officially taken care of, and then also having another place that will make those copies and sell it to you guys, and they're trustworthy and credible and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things in the back end that I need to figure out. I will be releasing like an inside look video in the next month or 2 before I release the movie itself. But once I have that all kind of figured out, you guys will be the second to know. The wife's the first. So once she knows and you guys will know, and everyone's going to know. And it's going to be great. But I'm not quite there yet. There's still a lot, and there's a lot of time that goes into doing that sort of stuff that I haven't had lately. Finding free time to work on stuff is a lot harder than it used to be. My life got pretty crazy. Unrelated to Fail Encounter Rise and Fight, I do want to talk a little bit about where I'm going in filmmaking from here and what I plan on doing. You guys might not like this answer. I am taking a back seat from big filming projects. I'm not pursuing the sequel to this. I'm not looking at creating something bigger and better at the moment. At least that's how I feel right now. I am still living with my parents. I'm 25. I really want to get out. Moving out is one of my first priorities. Once I finish the debt that I've dug myself in to create this project, as well as equipment and props I got to keep forever, which means I don't have to sell them or return them. I can use it for any other project, which is great. But once I get all that taken care of, everyone's paid off, I'm looking at saving even more and more heavily into getting our own place. I'm not going to give you guys numbers right now, but we don't have nearly as much as we would have liked at this point, and it's taking a lot longer to get to where we want to be than we would have hoped. So me increasing my income or doing another job on top of what I do, just doing something or anything, going and working harder than I already do possibly to acquire the funds for our house is pretty... It's a high priority for me, and we're not talking like a $1 million house or a 500,000, nothing crazy. Just like a small starter home would be fine. 2-3 bedroom house, 1 or 2 bathrooms, a decent area to live in, not like in the slums or somewhere that's not really safe. So I wouldn't want the family I'm making or the family I have to not be safe, right? Or even people visiting. So just a starter home. That's all we want. We just want to have our own place. And filmmaking has kind of held me back from that. I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing yet. I like to think that it's not a bad thing, because I feel like I'd be more depressed if I didn't go and pursue my creative goals and ideas in the filmmaking industry or just filmmaking in general. I know I have a lot to learn. I still have a lot that I'm looking at doing. I'll be taking a back seat. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to be creating stuff. I'm still going to be creating. I like to get more back into reviews. I like to keep any gameplay stuff I've been doing going. I have some short film ideas I like to do that are inexpensive, fun to do. I want to do ideas from others on top of it, as long as I'm not taking their idea and running with it. We all have to collaborate together. I'm going to be helping other people with their projects, so it's not even going to be on this channel, but I'll send you to where it will be at. And we can watch and enjoy it from there too. One thing I will be filming that's more on the high-end scale, but I don't have any idea how long it's going to take, is my horror web series idea. I've really wanted to do this for years. I put this project before that one, so this one got done first. Well, it's just about done anyways. And this horror web series I have in mind, I can't do quite yet. I want to help my friend finish his project first, and that's taken us quite a bit of time due to scheduling, due to a lot of things actually that I don't want to list here in this video. So we have a lot we got to get through before we can finish that, and once it is done, I'll let you guys know. But I want to help him finish that before I pursue my next filming project, at least something that's pretty high end, nothing that's I can't do without, like a short film. I just released Delightful Vengeance. If it's something like that, then I can just go do it on my own. I don't have to really worry about not putting his project before mine. So with that being said, that's all I really have to say. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and till next time, I'll see you guys. With that being said, have a great day, and I'll catch you later. Thanks for sticking around. Take care.